Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my morning talk show. This is Ted Vang. Today is a very significant day, marks another of MLK Day. So if you don't know, today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's a national holiday celebrating the birthday of the civil rights leaders who won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. Preaching a message of nonviolent resistance, the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. became enshrined in American culture as the leading voice of civil rights movement. On Sunday, President Joe Biden delivered a remark from a Baptist church in Alabama, becoming the first sitting president to deliver a Sunday sermon from a historic church where King served as a pastor until his assassination in 1968. In honor of the MLK Day, many government agencies, post office, banks, corporate offices, and more are closed today. The U.S. National Park are waiving entrance fee today, and many people are also expected to flock to the memorial sites to pause for a moment to remember his legacy. So what about other issue about Martin Luther King Day? Well, according to Access News, many have used MLK word or Martin Luther King Jr. words of the I Have a Dream speech in a different way. Word from Martin Luther King Jr. in 1963, again, I Have a Dream speech about colorblind nation or repeat every MLK Day. But civil rights leader advocate say that now frequent cherry picking of the quote distorts the view and marks a different era in this country. Why it matter, my friend? The U.S. still face a reckoning almost 3 years after the death of George Floyd among the conservative backlash. The divided nation is using King's word every day in a different way. King's Dream speech, however, according to the civil rights leader and advocate, envisions a country that live up to its promise of equality and made it in a founding document of this country. Also brought up police brutality and systematic poverty hurting African American in the same address. But people actually only pick the parts that they wanted to talk about. Based on Access News, 4 years later, after he spoke, he told NBC News that I must confess, the dream that I had that day has at many points turned into nightmare, quote. King cited persistent discrimination, poverty, and the Vietnam War at the time. What's happening now, my friend, in a recent year, many Republicans have selectively used King colorblind speech and the words from the Dream speech to attack civil rights program and initiative, according to Access News. For example, Governor Ron DeSantis invoked King's speech when he proposed his Stop Walk Act, aimed at limiting discussion around slavery and racism in public school. Another example, Republican leader Kevin McCarthy, now House Speaker, tweeted in 2021, critical race theory goes against every Martin Luther King Jr. taught us to not judge others by the color of their skin, quote. Reality check, my friend. King repeatedly brought up the legacy of slaverymen and the need to address structural racism in 1967. King said to us that we must address fully systematic racism, systematic poverty, ecological devastation, and militarism. It is dishonoring of memory of Martin Luther King not to raise that full critique, no matter how unnerving, unsettling, and uncomfortable it is. According to William Barber, a poor people campaign